out, let them know that Mr. Kyle Lashley, Chairman Kyle Lashley, is about to pour into this team tonight with so much information and value. We're going to get started in 30 seconds. 30 seconds from now, we're going to get started. So make sure that all your family members are on this call. We are 65 members strong. Make sure you go out into the I Am Takeover chat. Make sure you get your prospects, make sure you get your family, make sure you get your cousins, your uncles, your brothers, whoever on this call tonight. 30, 20 seconds out. We're definitely going to get started. All right. All right, fantastic. I'm seeing the numbers going up. I am seeing the numbers going up. Wonderful. Okay, great. Good night, everyone. My name is Kyla Walker, and tonight we are super excited for the information that you're going to be receiving here tonight. Let me see all those who have their pen and their paper. I literally have my notebook here. I am ready for this information tonight. Make sure that when you get on the call, your mics are muted and you are ready with your ears open, the music shut down, computer shut down, anything that can distract you from this information tonight. I want to make sure that it's off and your focus is on this call. Chairman Lashley, like I always tell people, has been a dedicated person to self-development, personal development, and not just for himself, but for his team members. And for every single one of you here tonight, understand that you have access to this gentleman who is definitely has been studying this information and has really put together a material, guys, that can literally take you to the next level. If you understand the power of environment, I wanted to drop environment in the chat because I am ready to hand over this information to my chairman, to this dedicated brother with so much value to give. So if you are ready, I'm only seeing one environment in the chat. Make sure you're dropping environment because you understand that tonight you are definitely going to be poured into. Make sure you have your notebooks, your pen, and you are ready for this information. Fantastic. I'm seeing the environment coming in. I'm seeing the environment. Wonderful. And like I said to you guys, Chairman Lashley has always, for the last 2 years that I've known this gentleman, has definitely made it his life mission to pour into people, to make sure that persons understand that they are valuable and they can go to the next level just from information and applying the information. So I am happy to be on this call and happy to hand over to this young gentleman who is definitely not going to fail you tonight. Make sure you're ready to receive. Make sure your heart is open. Make sure your ears are open and your mouth is closed. All right. And you are ready. So, Chairman Lashley, are you here? Are you on the line? Are you ready to take over and to really pour into us tonight?
Hey, good night, Kyla. Can you hear me? Let me know.
Loud and clear.
Awesome. Well, good night, everyone, guys. Man, I'm super excited to be on this call. Right? Let me just get this thing spotlight real quick, and we're gonna go ahead. Let's see. All right, perfect. Everybody, let me know in the chat, guys, if you guys could see me, if you guys could hear me. Let me know in the chat. Yeah. Awesome. Perfect. Guys, man, listen, I am so fired up to be on this call tonight. So excited to have all of you guys here as well. All right. I am seeing all the messages coming through in the chat box. Perfect. Guys, listen, if you don't have, a family member, like Kyla would have said on this call, let's get them plugged in, right? Let's get them on this call. If you know someone that wanted the link, that wanted this information, again, let's get them on this call. Let's get them plugged in because tonight I really believe, right? I strongly believe that this information is going to really help you guys in 2021 achieve all of your goals, right? And that's super important because everybody talks about goal setting. Everybody talks about goal setting, but very seldom, very few individuals talk about actually goal achievement, right? And I want that at the end of this year, that you guys would have achieved your goals in 2021. So first and foremost, man, for those of you guys that don't know, for those of you guys that are on the call, my name is Kailash, 27 years old. I'm an entrepreneur, business owner, investor, and I've literally been, just impacting and changing the lives of individuals all across the world. I'm an entrepreneur coach as well. So I've been helping individuals build and develop their businesses globally. Yeah. So glad to have you guys excited. First off, I want you guys to go and grab a paper, right? A pen, grab a notepad, grab something to take notes with, whether it's your smartphone, whatever it is. I want you guys to get something to take notes with tonight on this call. Yeah. As soon as you got it, I want you to drop a done in the chat box. Type done for me, right? As soon as you've got it, I want you to type a done. I want you to type done. Awesome. Perfect. Perfect. Loving it. All right. Okay. Great. Good stuff. All right. So tonight, man, as you guys were seeing, really and truly, environment is everything, and I wholeheartedly believe that, because everything really and truly from our upbringing, right? And actually, guys, before we continue, we're going to be talking a lot on this call tonight. Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot on this call. So keep that chat box open. Let's talk for sure. All right. So yeah, like I said, environment is everything. And you guys can see on the flyer as well. Motivation is overrated, right? Because here's what's happening. And like I said, I want that coming off of this call that you guys are inspired to make a shift in your behavior, right? I don't want you guys to, this is not one of those calls that you're going to be coming on just to get that injection, get fired up, and that's it, right? I'm past the point of just information, individuals just getting information. I want that when you get off the call, that it influences you to transform your life, to change your behavior, to do something different, right? Not just get excited and let that be the end all be all. Now, right? We passed that point. Yeah, we passed that point. This is the year not for you to just set goals, but for you to achieve those goals. I want you to type in the chat goal achievement, right? I want you guys to type in the chat box goal achievement. This is the year for you to attain your goals, not just set goals, right? Because how many of you, right? How many of you set goals for 2021? If you set a goal for 2021, just drop goal, type goal. Type goal in the chat. If you set a goal for 2021, type goal. Awesome. If you set a goal in 2020, right? If you set a goal in 2020, or you type 2020. What about 2019? Drop a 2019. Absolutely. No. Here's a question. How many of you guys achieved those goals? How many of you achieved those goals in 2019? How many of you achieved those goals in 2020? Right? I see some, I see a few, see no, right? Because here's what's happening, right? Year after year after year. The year is going to turn. You set new goals every single time. Yeah, remember I said goal setting is the easy part. Everybody sets goals, right? Everybody sets goals. That's the easy part. So I want that we actually attain those goals. We actually achieve those goals, right? So I'm hoping that by the end, you guys got like clear direction. You feel equipped to actually push yourself in a place where now you say, okay, yeah, I understand exactly now how I can go out and actually achieve my goals. All right, perfect. So let's talk about it, man. Like I said, environment is everything. Some persons messaged me and asked me, what does that mean? What do you mean environment is everything? Motivation is overrated, right? Most individuals, they crave motivation, right? What it is that they're looking for is someone, again, to come and gas them up, for them to move, right? But the interesting thing is that motivation is going to start the action, but what's going to happen is that the environment is going to create the habit. I want you to write that down, right? The motivation starts the action, but the environment is what's going to create the habit. Okay, your environment is what's going to cause you to do this, whatever it is, on a consistent basis, right? Why? Because your habits are direct connection to who you are. Okay, your habits show exactly who you are. Your habits are tied to your identity. How do we know this? I want you guys to really think about this, right? And growing up, right? If I ask you guys right now on this call, everybody on the line, if I had to ask you, okay, so why do you do the things that you do, right? Why do you do the things that you do? Why do you have the thoughts that you have right now? You know, I want you to think about that question, right? Why do you do the things that you do? Why do you think a particular way? Why do you perceive things a particular way, right? Why is your culture a particular way? Why do you do what you do? Because here's the answer to that, right? Because of how our environment was growing up, because of the things that we were told, because of the things that we experienced, because of the places that we were in, that determined exactly the individual that we are today, right? Your environment determines your habits, your thinking, the way that you see things, the way that you grew up, right? And I'm sure you guys can agree with that. Yes or yes? The way that you were brought up dictates and determines the way that you do things. Yeah. So awesome. So with that in mind, right? Because here's the thing, and this is why environment is so powerful. Because, for example, you guys, we could have been born, right? You could have been born in the United States. Okay. You were born in the United States, and then you were raised in Japan, for example. What language would you speak? What language would you speak? You're going to speak Japanese. Why? Because of your environment, right? Because of your environment. Next thing to write down, write this down. Environment is always going to be stronger than willpower. Okay, your environment will always be stronger than your willpower. So it's everything in your life is going to be based around your environment. And I want you guys to take environment from just being, because usually when you think environment, persons tend to think, this is just the things that are around me, right? Environment is just the things that are around me. But the truth is, right, environment is also your perception, the way that you perceive things, the things that, because these are the things that influence your thoughts, right? Your environment are the things that you hear. Your environment are the things that you see. Here is literally going to be affected by your five senses, really interesting. Okay, that's your environment. But what's so crucial for me is that the environment determines who you are. Your environment dictates your identity. And that's what we're going to talk about here tonight as well, because for us to achieve any goals, right? For us to attain and achieve any goals, it has to come down to who we see ourselves. What is my perception of myself? Right? What is my perception of myself? And that is interesting question for me. Why? Because, and I'm gonna share a story with you guys, right? Because over and over, like I said, we set goals, and I always wonder, like, why is it that despite we set a goal, despite we are clear on where it is that we want to go, we still never do it. We still never attain these goals. We set the goal at the beginning of the year and everything, right? But we never actually attain the goals that we set. And that's always been a question of mine. Like, why is it that so many individuals know what to do, but they're not doing it? Right? They know what to do, but they're not doing it. And they brought it all the way back. It has to be tied to our environment. Because the environment, when you guys follow me, right? Because the environment determines who you are. Who you are determines what you do. So that means at the root of this all, right? At the root of what it is that you do, what you do, has to be your environment. Okay? It has to be your environment. There's no two ways about it. And I was studying this book, right? Because I was studying this book because a book called Atomic Habits, one of my mentors, suggested it to me back in November last year, right? And I really started to dive into this book because personally, I take long to read books, right? Because I don't just read books, I master chapters. Yeah. So I'm really going in because I'm really trying to figure out like, why is it that, and I'm gonna talk personally, right? Let me share this story with you. Let me share this story with you guys, right? Back in 2016, I was in the gym, right? Back in 2016, I was in the gym. Now, that lasted probably about 3 months. Granted, I set the goal at the beginning of the year, right? I set the goal, probably how everybody in this call set the goal as well. I set the goal at the beginning of the year, but I didn't remain in the gym for a long period of time. And then I went overseas for probably like 4 days. And afterwards, I was not in the gym for about 3 years. It's crazy. I was not in the gym for about 3 years. Now I set, and this is the premise I'm on, right? I set the goal, right? I set the goal. I know where it was that I wanted to go. I was clear. I even knew the weight that I wanted to be. I knew the body that I wanted to have. I was clear on that. Yeah, I was super clear on that. But despite that, this did not remain consistent for me. This was not a consistent factor in my life to be in the gym, despite I had it set as a goal, right? So what happened for me this year, because I didn't get back into the gym, until 2020, late 2020, after I read this book. And I'm gonna tell you guys like what really shook me and what really got me back into the gym, right? And in the gym and inconsistently. I'm gonna share with you because I want to bring it from this perspective so that you understand. Like I said, this is not a call to gas you up. This is a call that you go and you make change afterwards, right? I got into the gym after reading this book. I probably was stuck on like the first few chapters in the book, and afterwards, I immediately got into the gym. I immediately started to exercise. Let me explain. Now, the first thing that has to happen when you're to write this down is that your perception has to change. Right? Your perception of yourself has to change. Okay? Because remember I said your environment is going to be directly connected to who you are. So environment is connected to identity. Yeah, write this down, right? Be following me. Your environment is connected to identity. Yeah? Your identity, of course, what you do is going to show up in your identity. Yeah, what it is that you do, the habits that you have, we can see, okay, yeah, this is the type of person that you are. Because if you are, for example, if I am athletic, I should be in the gym. If I am a reader, I should be reading books. Right? If I'm an entrepreneur, I should be doing business. Okay. So whatever it is that you do is a direct connection to who you are. Awesome. Perfect. So I want you guys to be following, right? So the first thing that had to happen was for me to change my perception, was for me to change the way that I saw myself. Okay? That was the first thing. So immediately I could only connect the dots now looking back because at the time I was focused on my outcome. And here's the challenge, right? Here's the challenge for some of us is that we are focused on the outcome, the thing that we want to achieve most. All the goals that we have, that's what we're focused on, right? Because guys, listen, there's 3 levels to this thing, right? There's 3 levels for you to attain goals, all right? It's going to be 1, the outcome, 2, the process, and 3, the identity. We tend to focus only on the outcome and maybe the process, right? We tend to focus on the outcome and sometimes maybe the process. So what happens is like for me, I was focused on, okay, this is the body that I wanted to have. This is the weight that I wanted to attain. This is what I want. This is what I want to look like. But here's what, but the problem was I did not identify with that. I did not see myself as an athlete. So I could be going into the gym, right? I could, for example, be reading books. I could be whatever. If I am not identifying, if I do not take it on as my identity, I'm not going to achieve the goal. So if I'm an entrepreneur, all right, if I'm an entrepreneur, or rather, let's say I decide I'm not an entrepreneur, let's just say I decide, you know what, this year I'm going to start a business. This is the goal that I have for my business, and so on and so forth. Okay. Based on the goal that you have, here's what we do. We say, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to do this, 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 this. But we never think I need to become an entrepreneur. Because listen, anybody could start a business. But not everybody looks at, okay, who's the person that they need to become? Nobody looks at, okay, what is it that an entrepreneur does? What is it that a business owner does? I'm going into this particular field. Okay, what is it that they do? Who is the person that I need to become, right, for me to attain these goals? So as opposed to me focusing on the outcome, as opposed to me focusing on the result, I focus on the person that I got to become. Because that particular person has a particular set of habits attached to it. So I'm looking at who do I need to be so that I can become I can reach a particular goal. I can become a particular individual. We gotta, like I said, there's 3 levels to this thing, right? The issue with us not attaining our goals is because we are only focused on the outcome. Okay? It has to transition from your outcome to your identity. Because now it works back, because now this is how it's gonna work. I set the goal. Awesome. So this is what happened for me. I set the goal. This is what I wanted to attain. This is what I wanted to do. Perfect. Now I look at, okay, who do I need to become? I'm not looking at, okay, what is it I have to do? I look at who it is that I need to become. Because out of me becoming, then the processes take place. Then the action steps takes place, right? Because here's the thing. A lot of us, shout out to all of you for setting goals, right? Virtual high fives. Yeah. Shout out to all of you for setting goals, because that's where it starts. So the movement take place, right? But this brought me to, now I'm really thinking about, like, this brought me to, like, for example, the Israelites, right? Referring to the Bible, in the wilderness, right? Going to the promised land. They were circling around the mountain. Listen, they were circling around the mountain, right? They were moving, but they were not making any progress. And that's what's happening for some of us right now, is that we are moving, we are making steps, but we are not making any progress. We set the goal. That's cool, right? That's cool. But we are just now walking in circles, because yes, we started to do things. We started to engage in the activity. So you started to do the things that you think were required for your business to get success, rather than let me look and see, okay, this is the person that I actually need to become for me to attain this particular goal. Right? Because the outcome is what you're going to get. Okay? The outcome is what I'm going to get. The process is what you actually do, right? Or the action is the action that you take. But your identity now is tied up and wrapped up in what it is that you actually believe. And here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. We're not going to do what it is that we don't believe. Yeah? We're not going to do what we don't believe because we're not going to be a contradiction of ourselves. We're not going to, you can imagine calling yourself a hypocrite. You can imagine calling yourself a hypocrite. We are not going to do what it is that we don't believe. So if we don't change our identity, if we don't change the way that we see ourselves, right? If we don't change what it is that we believe, then our outcome is going to be the same thing every single time. They say that it takes 21 days to create a habit. Lies. I was in the gym for 3 months. That was, no habit was created. Right? It doesn't take 21 days to create a habit. It takes identity to create the habit. That's what it takes. It takes identity to create the habit. So here's what I want you guys to do, especially now this is the beginning of the year, right? I don't want you to just start, because here's what we you guys, we teach, right? Start with the end in mind, right? You start with the goal in mind. Perfect, right? Start with the goal in mind. But here's what I also want you to do, right? And write this down. I want you to start with the identity in mind. All right? Start with identity in mind. Not only the goal in mind, start with identity in mind. We start from that place, right? We start from that. Listen, we're going to get everything else right. The processes that we need to take is going to be right. The action steps that we need to take, that's going to be right, right? Because we don't want to be confusing movement with progress, guys. Yeah, you set the goal, you start with the end in mind. Okay, we're making movement, but we still don't believe. We still don't have the right beliefs. So don't only start with the end in mind, start with the identity in mind. Yeah, I hope you guys got that, right? I hope you guys got that, because I gotta know who I am. Right? And if I don't know, right? If I don't know, for example, that I'm a child of God, if I don't know this, if I don't believe that, then you know what's gonna happen? I'm not gonna believe where the Bible says I can do all things through Christ. Right? I'm not gonna believe that I should be rich and wealthy, right? Because the Bible says, if I am a child of God, my father is a king, then I should be prosperous. Right? Also, it also says, for those, I'm not trying to preach to you guys, but listen, you got to know who you are. And I know who I am. Right? So I know the results that I should be getting. Yeah, I know the results that I should be getting. So if I know within myself that, listen, this is who I am connected to, out of that, I can set any goal. Right? Listen, it says I can do all things, not small things, not a few things, right? But all things. I understand that. I understand my identity. Then I can flourish out of that. Right? Then I can flourish out of that. That's the primary factor right there, first and foremost. That's where it starts. Okay. Then out of that, I set these goals. Right? I set these goals, and I'm not setting. So then, guys, understand this, because remember, all success is going to be first spiritual, then it is physical. Okay? All success is going to be spiritual, then physical. Okay? So that's why I'm talking about God. Right? That's why I'm talking about the Heavenly Father, because that's where the success starts first. I got to be connected to the source. If I'm not connected to the source, then all of that can't bear fruit. I don't know who I am. That's why you got to know who you are. You get me? Right? We gotta know who we are. Because then it's easy to function. It's easy to set goals not based on your eyesight, but now you can set goals based on your insight. Right? Listen, I hope somebody got that, right? Because No, you don't gotta set goals, right, based on what it is that you can see, but you set goals based on what it is that you know. Right? I know who I am. It's a knowing now at this point. I know who I am. So out of that, I set the goals. Out of that, no, right? Out of that, the goals are set, and then I can start the process from there. Everything is going to take the right course. So so I'm sticking on this point. Don't only start with the end in mind. Start, right? Don't only start with the end in mind. Start with identity in mind. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Listen, guys, man, let me know so far. You guys getting value. Like I said, don't just take this information and be, ooh and I in the chat, but I want you guys to really take this, apply this, right? Apply this to your life. Yeah, apply this to your life. Understand that it's not just about the goal setting. Understand that I need to be focusing on, okay, who do I need to become? I got to be focusing on becoming the right individual. Set goals for that. It's going to be full circle. We set a goal to become the right individual. Maybe set a goal to become. Because all of that, again, the processes, the steps are taken. The things that I do now, line up and match up. Right? So awesome. 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 Right? So guys, listen, man. That was the first thing. Listen, when I was going through this, I was just like, oh my goodness, this thing could go so many different ways, so many different directions. It's insane, right? And that was the first thing. Like, as it relates to your environment, you gotta know, you gotta change your perception of self. Once I change my perception of self, I figure out who it is that I need to be. And all of that, I create my habits. All of my habits now create my results, create my outcome. Right? So what's happening typically is that we're trying to change the wrong thing. We don't get new results, right? We don't get new results by setting new goals. Oh, listen, we don't get new results by setting new goals. We get new results by changing our behaviors, by changing our habits, by changing who we are, by becoming someone different. Because here's the thing, if you were already that person, you would already have the goals that you would have set. Think about it. All the goals that you would have set, right? If you were already that person, you would already have those goals, which means there's room for growth, which means it's something that I don't know, right? I am not the correct individual right now for me to have those goals. So I got to focus more on becoming. Right? I got to focus more on becoming. Now, here's the thing, right? Actually, let me pull this up. I want to show you guys something here real quick. Give me one sec. Right? Give me one sec. Let me show you guys this. Let me know when you guys can see my screen. Right? Because like I said, I'm really going in. And for those of you that are on this call, I want you to write this book down. Get this book. If you don't have it as yet, get the book Atomic Habits. Right? Get the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. Okay, if you don't have it as yet, get that book. Listen, that book is, for me, the book of the year. Right? The book of the next 2 years. That book is so deep. Right? Let me see if I can find this here real quick. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Make sure you get that book. Get the book by James Clear. It's called Atomic Habits. Right? It's called Atomic Habits. Now, here's the, you guys should be seeing my screen right now. Let me know. You are? Let me know if you guys are. Let me know if you are. Yes, awesome, perfect, good stuff, right? Now, here's the thing, right? You guys can see on the screen, this is called the habit loop, right? Now, basically, not gonna go through all this, just want to give you guys some perspective here, right? Now, when we talk about environment now, speaking specifically now about the things that are in your space, the things that you see, the things that you hear, because for us right now, right, if we are going to change, again, this is helping you know to change your identity, right, to become someone else. If you're going to change your identity, then you've got to change. Remember how we said that the environment shapes your identity? You've got to change your environment. Right, we start with the perception. Now, guys, we got to start with the things that we are hearing and seeing. For me, it was the book Atomic Habits. That change of information, right? That was the first thing that triggered in my mind. Yo, listen, you need to change your the way that you perceive yourself. That was the first thing. So a change of information raises your awareness, right? It raises your awareness now and causes you know to see the things that you actually need to be doing. So that's the first thing, right? That's the first thing. We first, right? There has to be some kind of trigger, right? They call it cues in Atomic Habits, right? There has to be a trigger that causes you to first decide. Okay, that could be this call, that could be something else. It doesn't matter. There has to be something though that makes you aware. Okay, I am not the person that's going to earn 100 grand this year. I am not the person that is going to have a successful business this year. Okay, I need to find out what that person is, right? What are the habits of the successful people and do those things, right? And some of us, man, listen, here's what has to happen. We got to change our association, right? Speaking very physical now, because I don't want you to only think environment as, you know, the things that are around you or the people that are around you, but everything has a relationship attached to it, right? You are tied to someone in some way, shape, form, or fashion. People are going to influence you whether you know or not. The people that you surround yourself with, subconsciously, you're going to pick up their habits. That's why I'm so intentional about who I surround myself with, the things that I'm listening to, right? The things that I'm listening to. Because, guys, how many guys read Think and Grow Rich? The self-confidence formula. Anybody read that? Anybody has that? Knows that? Read that before? Awesome, right? Now, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about the self-confidence formula, right? And this is why I said this is so important that we manage the information that's coming into our head, right? The information that's coming into our ear, because remember, from a young as a child, the environment shaped your perception, right? The environment shaped your actions, your beliefs, etc. So right now, we got to change that. We got to reprogram our minds to do the things that are necessary for us to get to where we got to go. All right, because always ain't gonna bring new things. Okay, always can't bring new things. So we got to change the always, right? So the self-confidence formula actually it'd be great. Let me see if I can pull that up on my screen. That would be great. I see some persons asking for it as well. You know, in the self-confidence formula, it speaks about the things that I mean, I don't want to read it for you guys, man. Let me just read it for you. All right, the self-confidence formula. Let me pull it up on my screen, and you guys should be seeing it in 1 sec. You guys should be seeing that right about now. Give me 1 sec, right? Because I want to show you how this is all tied together, right? And it was just amazing for me. You know, as I started to go through this, I was like, oh my goodness, right? This thing makes a lot of sense, right? This thing really does make a lot of sense. All right, great. Let's see if we can get it pulled up. It's loading, taking its time. All right. Give me one sec, guys. Taking its time, taking its time. But it's, listen, the self-confidence formula, like, guys, this is going to, if you've never read Think and Grow Rich before, okay, good. It's just loading. No, it's just taking a while. I'm sure it's taking so long. All right, good stuff. All right. We should be seeing it. Yeah, it's taking a while, man. We should be seeing it now. All right, so let me know. You guys can see. Yeah. You guys can see this? Okay, cool. So not the first one. Right? Cool. So let's look at this one right here, the third one, right? It says here in the self-confidence formula, I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind, right, will eventually seek expression through some practical means, right? Let's look at the second one here, right? Let's go to the second one here real quick. Basically saying the same thing. I realize the dominating thoughts in my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves, right? Gradually transform themselves into a physical reality. Now, guys, listen, what this is saying to me, right? And this is why I said it's so important that the things that we listen to, who we have in our space, the things that are being replayed in our mind over and over. Because on the third one, when we talk about autosuggestion is what is being repeated over and over, right? What are you hearing over and over again? So there's some people in your environment, right? There's some people in your environment that are speaking ill, that are causing you to stay in the place that you are in. I want you to hear me, because there's some persons, right? And I know a lot of times individuals talk about, they say you are the sum total of the 5 people that you associate with the most. Guys, that is the facts, right? Because whatever it is that they are speaking on a consistent basis, whatever it is that they are saying, guess what? You are hearing that, right? It is being auto-suggested to you too, right? Again, whether you're conscious about it or not, it is being suggested over and over. So you know what's going to happen? It's going to seek physical expression, right? You are one way or the next. You are going to go out and do that thing. That's why my voice has to be louder, or the voices that I intentionally put myself around, the people that I intentionally associate myself with, the things that I am listening to, my goals that I am speaking, the goals that I have written down, right? I have got to be so intentional about speaking that every day, right? Because remember, the environment is everything, right? I got to be conscious to create my own environment as well. Because right now we're in the process of reprogramming our mind. If we want to attain these goals, we've got to change the people that we associate with. We got to change the perception that we have of ourselves, right? And we got to change the spaces that we are in. All right, we got to change the spaces that we are in. This is how you're going to start to reform your identity. Because remember, again, everything has a cue, right? Everything has a cue. It says in the third one, right? Let me go back to it here real quick. Any desire, right, that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through practical means of attaining the object, right? So any desire, anything that I really want, any goal that you really want, right, is going to eventually see expression. Now, what was crazy for me, guys, and just connecting this real quick, right? In the book Atomic Habits, they speak about a chemical that's released in our brain called dopamine, right? And guys, this was just so huge for me. I just say, you know what? Let me share this with you guys as well, right? If you know about the book, get the book, right? Let me share this with you guys as well. In the book Atomic Habits, you talk about a chemical that's released in your brain called dopamine. Now, what dopamine does, dopamine basically gives us the ability to want to be pleasured, right? And that's the best way to put it. Yeah. It gives us the feeling to want to be pleasured. It's not pleasure, it gives us the desire to want to be pleasured. Okay. Dopamine. Yeah. It gives us the desire to want to be pleasured. Okay. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind is going to seek expression. Okay, cool. Now, the desire, so what that is that more dopamine basically is going to be released in my mind the more I desire a thing. Now, they give the example in the book of some rats, for example. Now, here's what they did. They took dopamine away because it's also in animals as well. They took dopamine away from the animals, right? And what happened is that they stopped desiring to live. They stopped desiring to eat. They stopped desiring to do anything. But they gave them sugar and their face lit up. So what that means is that you could still be pleasured, yes. But what dopamine does is the anticipation of pleasure. It gives you the anticipation of pleasure. It gives you that ability to want to be pleasured. So what that means is that for all of my goals, right, tying this to this book here, right, for all of my goals, if I desire that thing, right, that is what is going to move me into action. The desire of it is what's going to move me into action. Oh my goodness, listen, right, this book is so huge. And let me tell you why it's huge for me, because it's really putting this in perspective as well, you know, as it relates to our environment, the things that we are repeating in our mind over and over, the things that are coming into our head, you know, over and over. I don't know if I'm explaining this well to you guys on this call, right? Because man, this thing is so huge. Yeah, this thing is so huge, right? So let me know, man. Let me know if you guys capturing what it is I'm saying here, because at this point, right? At this point, once we change the things that we are hearing, once we change the people, right? Once we change the people that we associate ourselves with, we've got to be super intentional about positioning ourselves around the individuals that are going to take us to another level, right? Because it's all about your environment. It's all about who you surround yourself with. Let me ask you this question. What are you listening to? Because that's going to influence my belief. What am I seeing on a day-to-day basis? Don't just write your goals down, but make your goals visible. Speak them every day. The auto suggestion has to occur. Because the more that I speak it, the more I start to desire it. Why? Because it's the anticipation of the goal, right? And that's why, right? Just setting a goal is not, you're not going to achieve it. Just setting that goal, we're not going to achieve the goal. We've got to be constantly anticipating that goal. So that's why you keep speaking it. The desire builds up every time, right? That dopamine is released in your mind. That causes you to take action. That causes you to want to go after that thing. I'm hoping this makes sense. I really hope this makes sense. Oh, my Lord. Listen, this, you know, this for me, man, this is huge. All right? This is huge. We make that decision, right? You make that decision to change the things, change the people you associate with, change what it is that you're listening to, and be intentional about it. Be intentional about it. So this year, 2021, 2021, for you to go achieve your goals, look at the identity. Focus on your identity, right? Focus on the things that are going to change your identity. What is that? The things that I'm listening to, the places that I am, the people that I'm associated with, right? The relationships that I have with the things that are in my environment, right? The relationships that I have, like, guys, if you find yourself you know that you're supposed to be doing a particular thing and you're not doing it, change the environment that you're in, change the space that you're working, right? Because there are relationships attached with everything in your environment, right? Whether it's people, whether it's things, there's a relationship attached to it. So, for example, I don't do any work in my bed. I can't lay in bed and do any work on my phone. Why? Because my relationship to my bed is sleep. So I can't be productive in my bed. If I want to be productive, I go to the office. That's why, again, like when I was reading the book, I started to exercise, but it wasn't consistent because I was exercising at home. My relationship with my house is not exercise. My relationship with my house is relax. So it's going to be hard, right? It's going to be hard to create a new you in the same space, to create new habits in the same space. You got to take yourself out of the space, take yourself out of that environment, right? Take yourself out of that environment and in a new environment, because it's easier to create new habits in a new environment. You can't create new habits in the old space, right? In an old environment. You got to intentionally put yourself in a new environment, and that's how you're going to see you're going to start to produce a lot more. You're going to realize you're going to be more consistent with the things that you're doing. New habits are going to be formed. Yeah, new habits are going to be formed. So I hope, man, ready tonight, that you guys already caught this. Like I said, it is this. The purpose of the call wasn't to gas you up. The purpose of the call was for you to take the necessary information, put it into practice, right? Put it into practice. Yeah. Put it into practice so that this year, 2021, you actually start to attain those goals. You actually start to knuckle some goals. Why? Because I became a goal achiever. Right? Identity. That's where it's all at. Man, that's so huge, Identity is crazy, when I really came to grips, and really understood that was the root, right? My environment was the root of it all. Because from the environment shapes our identity. What we're listening to, what we're speaking, what we're saying shapes everything. Right? So we got to be intentional about it. Know who it is that we got to become, be intentional about making the change. Then we hit our goals. All right. So guys, man, I hope you guys, like I said, I hope you guys got value on this call tonight. Right? Perfect. Get the book, right? Go and get the book, Atomic Habits. If you haven't, go and order it, get it on Audible, something. Because I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. Yeah, like it changed mine. Your boy in the gym. Right. Super excited, man, for this year. All the goals that are going to get knocked out. Super excited for all of you on this call as well. All the goals that you're going to get knocked out as well. Let's get it, man, in 2021. Here's what I want you guys to do, right? I want you guys to screenshot this call, and whatever you took from it, I want you to drop it in your status, and tag me. You guys see my Instagram handle here, right? Kyle Ashley. You see at Young Billionaires, sorry, right? At Young Billionaires Instagram handle. And tag me, let me know, man, if you took anything away from this call. I want to see, really what you guys took away. And let's really just go ahead, right? Let's really just go ahead and get the results, get the outcomes that we desire by becoming the person that we need to become. Yeah, let's get it. So Neymar, okay, cool. I see you got a question, bro. Feel free. You want to put it in the chat. No problem. Shoot me. I see the messages in I'm seeing the messages in the, all right, give me one sec. Let me see if I can unmute you. Seeing the messages in the chat. What to do, guys? Shoot me a message on Instagram. All right, let me see if I can respond to some of them right here real quick. Let me give you that opportunity to unmute your mic, bro. Give me one sec. Find your name. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for all the value and everything, right, bro? Really, actually appreciate it. My question is, as it relates to getting into the environment that you want. Yes, Neymar is in the right environment, but obviously Neymar has old friends, right? So what I'm saying is, not all of my old friends would have, let me say, bad habits, right? They have, let me say, they have some bad habits and so on, and they can change. But how is it? I would really and truly love to like cut out those friends to the ones that really and truly I see value in to change their habits, if you understand what I'm saying. So how important is it for me to take out those or weed out those ones that don't have the potential? I mean, everybody has potential, right? But the thing is, like, how do I weed out those people and see those people that really actually shouldn't be with me on this mission? If you understand the question I have.
So, okay, you asked two things. So you want to know how do you make that shift, or how do you know who to associate with?
Right. Who best to associate with, and how best should they come to grips with reading the mode?
Right.
What is it? Yeah.
All right, cool. So as it relates to, knowing who to associate with, you gotta know first and foremost, like I said, so you know your goals, you know what it is that you're trying to achieve, right? Now, if it is, this is my take on it. If it is that individual is not adding to me, I limit my association with them, right? Like you gotta know, you have certain circles for certain people. Okay, you have certain circles for certain people. So I know, for example, who are the people that I'm just gonna have fun with, and then I know the people that I'm going to do business with. I know the people that are going to, elevate me. I can't have what the issue is going to be when you have the wrong people in the wrong circles, right? That's where the issue comes. When you have the wrong people in the wrong circles. So you got to know, let family be family. Let friends be friends. Let mentors be mentors. So you have different associations. That's how I set up my life. I got a number of circles. I got the fun circle, I got the family circle, then I got the my mentors, that circle, and then I have the people that are running with me. That circle, and then the persons that I'm mentoring. So you gotta know, like which circle. So you don't necessarily have to cut off an individual. You just cut them off to a certain point. So it's like, I know I'm not going to be having conversations with my friend circle about business because they can't take me there, right? I have that conversation with mentorship, yeah? So let me know if that answers your question, bro. Let me. Yeah, Neymar. Let me know if that answers the question, bro.
Yeah, that definitely answers my question and so on, because I would have even heard that from, let me say, a mentor also. I would have got a video about it. Like what you're even trying to say is, if I spending 2 hours with Kai or Akeem, that I mean really actually I should be spending 30 minutes with them other individuals then, because you guys got more value to add to me as it relates to like my fun circle, my business. You understand what I'm saying?
All right.
Right. So I definitely get you and understand what you're saying. Thanks for your value, bro.
Awesome, man. You're welcome. I'm gonna take another question if anybody else have any questions. Let me know real quick, guys. If you got any other questions? All right, cool. Perfect. Yeah, man. So like I said, thank all you guys, man, for hopping on to the line tonight. Right? Do have an amazing night. Right? What I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna drop a post on my Instagram right now, right? And I want you guys to go ahead, because this is what to do. For those of you who are following, go to my Instagram. young billionaires. Yeah, young billionaires. I'm gonna drop a post right now. Go and comment in the comment section, right? Go comment in the comment section, whatever it is that you took away. Yeah, so you can put it in the status, you can put it under the comment, under the post, right? And put whatever it is that you took away from the session. So just look out for that post. Okay, look out for that post. I'll drop it momentarily. All right. So, guys, with that being said, do have an amazing, amazing, amazing night. Right? Do have an amazing, amazing night. I want you guys to drop, like I said, under the post, right? And I'll see you guys on another call. I think we're gonna do probably a part 2. Right? Do have a fantastic night. Be blessed. I'll see you guys another time. All right.